So I'm going to try something kind of stupid today. I'm going to try to play Dark Souls with the map disabled. So it's probably not going to look like much, as you can see here from the little preview. It's just going to be me and enemies, basically. So yeah, I want to see how feasible it is to get around the map based around my memory of the game. So we'll give that a shot. First, I got to create a new character, of course. So I haven't really done any of this yet. I did a super brief test run of the tutorial last night, and decided I'm going to play offline because I don't want too many player messages kind of helping me out and making me see too much of the game, basically. I see someone appreciates the Bit Brigade shirt. Webcam's too low in volume. What class to do? Thief, I guess. I really don't care what the character looks like. I'm always wearing something on my head, so what does it matter?
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arched trees, and everlasting dragon.
So if this works the same as it does in debug, the graphics will display during the cutscenes, but as soon as I'm out of them, they should de-render.
Yes, indeed. The dark side brands the undead.
If you're wondering why I keep looking to the side here, I don't have a good dual screen setup or anything, so I just have another monitor way off to the side here to see the chat.
The undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Oh boy. So this is my first time actually trying this in Dark Souls Remastered. My test run was done in Prepare to Die edition, so the way it looks is actually a little bit different. So I'm going to play with the settings here a little bit. But yeah, this is already really crazy looking already. I actually kind of like how this looks more in Remastered, because the visual effects are a bit brighter compared to the dark gray background here. So I'm going to bring up the gadget tool and try to play around with the brightness settings a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be a little washed out and bright, but I think it's a bit dark if you don't do that. So I'm not doing this with any further restrictions, just because I really have no idea how challenging this is or isn't going to be. So. That's cool. This is one of the guys here in the starting cells that you can't actually get into or open. Oh, already here, I'm already getting myself into a bit of trouble. So I'm in that pool of water, but you can't actually step out of it from all sides. So, I Oh, I think I found my way out immediately, though. Crap. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here's a ladder. Yeah, camera still collides with the geography. There's not anything special happening. It's just literally de-rendering the map, so there's no other special effects or things that are different about it. So there are things I can play around, though. Like, I could disable visual effects if I wanted as well. And I tried doing that in my test run a little bit, but like not being able to see any effects at all makes it just a little too difficult. Okay. So to orient myself here, obviously the boss room is straightish ahead. The locked off shortcut door should be to the right a little bit. Can I see Oscar from... Yeah, we can see Oscar from here. Just hanging out. You can see the fog gate that leads to Oscar, so we got some things to sort of orient us a little bit. Okay. Crap. Already here, this is going to be interesting just getting into the boss room. I can't remember if it's more centered with the bonfire, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I actually had that kind of laid out for me, is they actually put these two torches aside of the door you're supposed to run to. They try to give some sort of slight visual hint of where you're supposed to escape to, so... That was actually a thing that really helped me out with learning how to navigate Blighttown when I was kind of like in my first playthrough still. Is I don't think I ever hit a point where I was like totally inescapably lost or something, but I remember reading like a Reddit post where someone gave a tip to another player being like, hey, if you're trying to navigate Blighttown, just look for the torches. Like, they help point out where ladders are, they help like point out how to navigate the platform. So just kind of unfocus your eyes and look for torches and you're good to go. That actually does quite, help a lot. Get my shield. Basilisk pits. That'll be interesting. I'm not usually that afraid of the basilisks. They don't scare me too much. Something that's kind of interesting about the basilisks is that I don't know if it was intentional programming or just kind of if it just wound up that way, but they actually can't target you based on sound. Like, if you load up right behind them and hit the walls, roll around and stuff, they actually never turn around to look at you. They only aggro based on sight, which is kind of weird. Okay, so if I run all the way to the wall and go down the steps, I should be able to open the shortcut door. Hopefully I don't need this. Somewhere. There's like that little nook. Wait, no. Okay, there we go. Crystal Caves will still have the falling visual effect, which is one of the reasons I definitely need the VFX enabled. But objects are disabled, so I can't see the boulder at all, so... Cool. Hello.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask
Blighttown, the
you,
Demon Ruins, and Sun's Fortress will be hell.
we're both undead.
Yeah, I think so.
Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
Oh yeah, the swinging pendulum blades in Sun's Fortress are going to be objects, aren't they?
Thou who art undead art chosen.
Shit.
And thine exodus from when thou ringest the bell of awakening. The fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you and Esther.
So he is set to die as soon as you step outside of the room.
And this.
You can usually like run back in real quickly to see his death animation, but here we should be able to see it completely unobstructed here. So he like stands up to die. All right, got Estes, and we're good to go. Oscar might look really bad because I upped the brightness a lot. This is probably the most poorly explained input in the game. A lot of people like have a hard time figuring out what that means, like hold forward on the left thumbstick and attack, but I always think of it as doing a button press, like as if mashing up instead of holding a direction. I think of it as like it hits a button when you reach the top, so I just kind of mash them really hard together and hope it works, but even then I'm not pulling it off very cleanly now. There we go. There we go. It always takes some getting used to. Parried him late, but it still landed. This is already kind of weird because he aggroed based on sound, so he walked up to just like right around the corner there, but he's not freaking out because he actually hasn't seen me yet, and now he sees me. Okay. Oh, hello down there. Oops. It's getting distracted by the stray demon. Oops. Oops. Double jump crit thing. I don't even really know how to do that exactly. I know it's a thing, but I've never really like looked into it. Yeah, new Londo Ruins I'm actually excited for, because it'll be cool seeing all the ghosts in their weird starting positions, like behind walls and stuff like that. So this is probably the good job, go straight ahead message. So, yep, there we go. Okay. Not exactly sure what straight is. I know that's the one weird, like, I think it's a soul item that's kind of off to the side. Snuggly should be off to the right somewhere, but I really don't know how this is going to go. Fingers crossed. I have no idea where the hell I'm going. Nope. Okay. Yeah, the bird's nest. Honestly, if I show you what that looks like for a second with objects on, it honestly makes things too easy. Which is kind of why I'm leaving them off for now. You know, you have all the reference from like all the pots and everything. Like that's not really, yeah. Get rid of that. So clearly, I'm going to die a lot here. Okay, so I've got my bloodstain. I didn't know he would attack. I just assumed he was in a walking loop. I don't. Maybe he got stuck on an object or something. I was just doubling back to see like at what point his rendering kind of gets cut off, but I thought I heard an attack on the way out of the room. That's weird. Okay, so we're gonna assume I went too far to the left, I think. You know, I thought about doing this with like item randomizers and other stuff equipped, and I think I had the better sense not to in the end. What am I getting stuck on? Okay. Maybe it's this way. Crap. Okay, so I wound up somewhere I didn't want to, but I think if I turn around and hug this direction, I'm probably okay. Okay, so maybe more to the left is where I need to go. Okay. It's funny, I don't remember resting at that second bonfire, but maybe I did. I wonder if there's like a couple objects that start off in his room that he gets stuck on, because their enemies are always set to break objects that are in their path. Okay. So that's a little too far to the right, I think. And then that's a little... I'm falling off some terrain. Well, I can use the... I forget what it's called exactly. The way your character automatically angles to match the ground underneath them. So it looks like I'm angling to the right, which means maybe more solid ground is this way. And it looks like I was walking upwards there. That feels good. Okay, so clearly I'm on some pretty precarious ground now. We're going to assume I'm too far to the left, so there's like solid ground if I kind of go up and around this way, maybe? But now it's on the other side of me. I have no idea where I am now. Let's see. Bloodstain's back that way. Messages that way. Oh no. Oh no. What am I standing on now? Ah, crap. Let's see. Okay, so I will try something a little bit different now. Inverse kinematics. Okay, I thought it was something like that, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, he's getting stuck on something. Thwack. That's cool. I didn't know that he did that, so we can learn some things from this stream as well, potentially. Okay, well, I keep repositioning my bloodstain every time I die, which is not super helpful. I'm not even making progress towards it. Okay. No, no, I think I fell too far down. To the side again.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
I'm surprised I keep winding up on this side. I really think I'm underestimating. Okay. Yes. And it actually it did de-render the map during the cutscenes. That's a little bit different than what was happening when I was playing in debug.
An undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Okay. Okay. Level up and kindle at bonfires. See how this works for us. Maybe I can turn the brightness back down a little bit, actually. Let's play around with that. In debug, I was playing around with, like, you needed to really put the brightness up to compensate. So, I think that's not as much of a problem now. The fog it's something you don't really think about or notice normally, but it's kind of really annoying when it's just by itself. Yeah, let's fix that brightness. Contrast up a little bit maybe, and brightness up. I think will make enemies brighter, but the background a little bit more dark, a little more black. Still wash out a bit, but I think it's a little bit better. Let's see if I can get this fixed here.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually two bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church.
At the
The
E3
other
conference of
is
Ooh.
far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Okay. Alright, so we run into an interesting situation here where I'm really compelled to not pick up any loot. Because as you can see, it helps point out where things are. 5 humanity would be nice to have, though. That's interesting, we can't see Anastasia at all. There we go. She actually kind of looked like she faded in. No, okay, it was more of a pop. There we go. So, of course, I'm going to keep things kind of simple and go to Undeadburg first as like my first area that I tackle. But maybe I should try getting the Firekeeper soul from New Londo Ruins first. So, okay, it's a little scary. If I hug the wall to my right, I should be good. I'm not even gonna know like what position like elevators are in and stuff. So this is it's gonna be a pretty bad idea. But that should be me falling off a cliff though, right? Because that should start in the up position. Oh, bots, fun. Hold on a sec. Get out of here. I should have done more than timeout, but let's see here. There we go, hide user on this channel. See ya. Okay, so attempt number 2 at getting the Firekeeper soul. Okay. I'm like not finding the staircase right. I'm sort of winding up back where Lautrec is. I can't remember if there's exposed cliff right at the top of the steps or not, though, so that's what's throwing me a bit. I can just do the same thing I did before, where I kind of fall on the stairs. Okay. Okay, this sounds better. Sounds like I'm in a room, maybe. No, now I'm back out of that room. Wow, I really can't see anything from here. That lighting change. Are there stairs down to that elevator a little bit more? Where's this thing? Oh wow, everyone disappeared up above. I think the dark sign is going to be very, very useful in this run. What was that? Okay. Okay. Don't lose this spot, whatever I do. Let's see. Because if the lever's there, the thing's got to be nearby. Yes, okay. Should be an item around to the left. Okay. I think I can... No, again, I should probably leave that there as a marker for navigation. Okay, so we know the cliff is right up over here. I forgot that, yeah, the enemy inside the breakable pot is going to be an object as well. He is somewhere near me. Oh, hello. Sorry, I stepped on you. And Orlando's rafter. Yeah, that's that's probably going to kill the run. I'm on that wooden I think I'll save that for later. I think we'll do, we'll collect some Firelink loot and then, hit up the Undead Bird. Oh no, I'm in that stupid little, like, dead-end nook thing. Probably. Alright, I can see you over there. Disappears again, that's kind of interesting. Where the heck? I'm near that message. I'm in the water. Okay. So am I just completely in the room with the water? It might be. What did I get myself into? This is so stupid. Okay, bonfires in that direction. I hear music. Alright. Prism stones will save this run. I absolutely need to get prism stones.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello, no.
If the run gets too difficult, I'll consider going online, because then there'll be more player messages on the ground and stuff.
Oh, I know. I have to await my companion. So what if I were to teach wood?
Sure.
Very well.
So, fun fact about Way of White. All the wikis and everything will talk about how joining this covenant can lessen your chance for invasions, but I don't think that's really a thing. That's a really deep rabbit hole to go down, but the short version is, I think it might have been a thing in the original version of the game, and I suspect it's probably not a thing in Dark Souls Remastered. The reason being is the original version of Dark Souls, you can connect up to only actually 20 players at a time, and the game sort of shifts what players you're connected to, depending on like what area you're in. And we don't really know how that algorithm works, because I think all that code's probably server-side. So we just know you connect to up to 20 players max, and the server somehow passes you along to other player P2P connections, basically. If this mechanic has any way of working at all, how I think it would work is maybe of those 20 players, it tries to pair you with more Way of White members, potentially, more co-op Covenant players, and hypothetically, if your list of connections is filled with those players, that means there's less Dark Wraiths you're connected to, right? So maybe there's less people using Red Eye Orbs. But of course, there's nothing to stop someone who's not a Dark Wraith from still invading using a cracked Red Eye Orb. The reason why I say it has to work that way is because I know there isn't invasion priority otherwise. All the game considers, if you're connected to a couple of people, let's say one host is Way of White, the other host isn't, and you have a third player who's an invader, and just those 3 people are connected, there's no one else in the lobby. Whichever 2 players have the shortest ping with each other is who gets targeted. So if both the non-Way of White and both the Way of White members are hosting, and the invader wants to invade one, it doesn't matter who's in the Way of White. There's no priority, there's no looking the other way saying, oh, that's the guy who joined the Covenant to avoid invasions. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't do anything. All it looks at is who's available in this level and who has the best connection with who you're trying to connect to. Now, hypothetically, in Dark Souls Remastered, maybe they changed how things work. They could have added a different system for priority. And I don't really know how that works behind the scenes, but ostensibly you connect to a much larger list of players at once, not just 20. So, again, all the wikis say join the Way of White if you want to avoid invasions, but I don't think that's a thing. I wouldn't trust it. Okay.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Let's see here. No, there should be a staircase somewhere. Cryogenic. Priority among Sunlight Warriors? Nope, I don't believe so. Again, I think the only priority might have been if, of the 20 players you're connected to in the original Dark Souls version, it might try to pull people in the same covenants or join the co-op covenants. But outside of that, with Dark Souls Remastered allowing you to connect with basically the entire player base at once, I don't see how that could be a thing. So they would have had to add new or different code for setting priorities. And because the original game didn't have that, I don't think that's going to be a thing. So my first guess is, as it stands today, if an invader tries invading 2 players, they're going to invade whoever they have the best connection with. Covenants, whatever, I really don't think any of that matters. Okay. Maybe finding the elevator will be easier when I escape the parish. Let's move on. So here's the well with 5 humanity. The unpatched version of the game, when it originally released on consoles, actually had less humanity here. I don't remember if it was only 1 or 2 or something like that. And as useful as that would be, I'm going to leave it there for now because it's a useful marker. Show you the map and hide it just for me. That is an interesting... I have no idea how that would work. That's an interesting idea. Here we go. It might be hard to find the stairs with these guys kind of moved around. There's a rat. I hear someone moving around. Nope, no, that's back towards Firelink. Is that the side of the staircase, maybe? Hopefully. I don't like how I'm going down really steeply all of a sudden. Okay, well that's... that in the distance is the item at the end of the far aqueduct tunnel, so I should be able to... Oh, it was 2 soft humanity in the original version. That's right. Okay, I think I'm under the stairs now, like to the side, and then this is up the stairs. There we go. There we go. I'm not afraid of picking up that item, because the rat itself is a good enough marker. See the female undead merchant. Oh, and hey, we have enemies. Open, so I missed the entrance. So that's kind of interesting. This hollow here is, he's like behind that little boarded up wall. That's to the left of the stairs. So with the map disabled, it looks like he should really see me and react to me, but he's on the other side of a very thin wall. I never really thought about that too much, but I guess if you had like a halberd and you did like an R2 attack, maybe you could clip through and hit him. Or if you could find some kind of attack that would clip through instead of bouncing off the wall. As deeply as Dark Souls considers a lot of things, it really does feel just like a video game when you see these hollows just hanging out forever, waiting for you. So this is kind of interesting, but the guy with the axe in the building to the left doesn't render until you come around the corner. So it's funny how you can see some enemies from kind of far, but for whatever reason they thought you didn't need to see him until you're like right next to him. Or not an axe, just a broken sword, I guess, but... but he's so close to the cutoff that if you... Let me turn the map back on for a second so I can show what I'm talking about. So if you're to stand like, I forget where it is exactly, but somewhere around here, you wouldn't be able to see him yet. So you can actually swing the camera far enough for him to be invisible, and then he just teleports into view the second you get close enough. And turn the map back off, and here we are. It's funny because I always notice that these guys, if you roll around in this room, you can hear some enemies moving around. And it's those guys reacting to your sound. They can't see you, so they stay de-aggroed. Yeah, the lesser fog walls are kind of interesting in Dark Souls. It's kind of like, what's the point? I mean, I kind of like them as these like artificial points of progression. right? Like you feel like if you're exploring an area for the new time, you don't know what's on the other side, so it adds a bit of tension. But yeah, it doesn't really relate to like loading content. I mean, they usually are like divisions of areas as far as like the way levels are divided for multiplayer activity and stuff like that. But I mean, you can obviously replay an area without the fog walls up and sprint through, and it's not like the game has a hard time loading anything. So they're not really loading boundaries in that kind of way. Oh, I assumed I was around the corner enough. There we go. That's what I wanted to have happen. Shouldn't there be like more enemies up here? I didn't kill everyone yet. I'm so confused, actually. Oh no, they all did charge me. I'm just talking too much. Okay. I do want that wooden shield. That's cool. That's the fire from the lower Undead bird. Oh, I got stuck behind the door, I think. Yeah, there we go. While I'm up here, I should go straight to the bonfire. That would be the smart thing to do. But I know the stairs are exposed, so I gotta be a little careful. Here we go. Okay. Bonfire. Hypothetically, if I walk in a straight line towards it, I think I'm gonna go over the bridge. Cool. Alright, we are definitely going to get some more Estus here. Okay, Kindle. Yeah, the fog gates, I'm just looking at some old comments. The fog gates in Demon Souls have more of a transparency to them, which is cooler. That you can look, instead of being, like, completely blocked off. Okay. Okay, he's stuck on the stairs. Light crossbow. Somewhere. There we go. So for these guys, my preferred method is usually to just kick their shield shield away. But you can always bait their attacks too by attacking them or doing whatever. Oops. Well, I could have parried that. Okay. So again, for anyone just tuning in, this isn't a special standalone mod or anything. This is just a tool called... Someone's throwing firebombs. Gadget. Dark Souls Gadget or whatever. It's just like a... kind of like a cheat engine sort of tool. Just like a preset cheat engine-like script, but it has all these just cheats built in instead of you having to find them and mess around with them. And thankfully included options to render different elements of the visuals, so it's something I thought about doing with debug, because I found there's a menu called a game rend, where you can just render, like, oh, turn off all of the objects, turn off the map, turn off the characters, the visuals, etc. But in debug, it doesn't persist when you die, and thankfully this tool does. So to stay immersed in this mode, the tool's better than using debug. Okay, so the staircase is blocked by boxes. I should remember that. So okay. Maybe this guy can help me find the stairs. Okay, so those guys are over there, which means... Okay. Then when I find a corner here, the stairs should be like a little bit behind me. Right? Okay, maybe. Ah, I thought I attacked there. I thought those were, I'm so close, yet so far. I can... There we go. I'm falling down something. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. It's funny seeing the guy throw fire bombs this whole time. Because normally he'd be completely out of sight, out of mind by now. He finally de-aggroed. Voicemail, actually, I am offline, so can't be invaded, unfortunately.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you. Hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls.
What do I want to buy? I definitely want to buy this. It's going to be huge. Sure. I want his Uchi, but I'm going to wait till I have more souls, I think. Even like throwing knives could be useful to help like kind of mark terrain temporarily.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, back up the stairs. Maybe, almost. Okay. Here we go. Back towards the first platform. This is why it's very important to not kick the ragdolls around, because I need them as markers. Up the stairs. And yeah, I'm good to go. Is that unparryable? If you carefully just step into the room, you can reach a point where only the first guy aggroes like that, and you're safe from the firebombs as well. Step a little bit further, and this guy's gonna see me. Other guy still hasn't even kicked open the door yet, so. Some enemies chain pull, like they'll all aggro together, but for a lot of things in Dark Souls, you can just kind of tiptoe your way around. Okay, what next? These are the guys in the other building. I have to go out the door that this guy just kicked open. There's the Black Knight below. Okay. Whoa, okay. Help me find the exit. Cool. This guy's around the corner. This guy's kind of funny because he's tucked in that like one really small nook, but it does overlook the steps going down towards the lower Undead Burg. Let me turn on the map so you can see what I'm talking about. He does overlook the steps there, so when you're using the shortcut to go back down to the lower Undead Burg, this is the one annoying hollow that like sometimes follows you and sees you. So I've always wondered if like that was his lone purpose, is to be like the one that surprises you if you're going between the two levels. Okay, so there should be a little room up here with a chest in it. I forget how close it is to this guy. Here we go. No, not quite. Here we go. It looks like I just stepped up. Okay. Oop, there was something. Hey. I honestly forgot what was going to be in that chest. Okay. This is a weird one where, like, the guy who's furthest back in the group is usually the first one to aggro if you tiptoe your way forward, which is, like... If it was all based on distance, you would expect him to not see you first. Maybe it's different AI, if he's the one that throws firebombs or whatever. I don't really know. Oop. Not quite. Okay. I don't know if it's even worth trying to get up to these guys. There should be a little platform with a ladder on it somewhere. It was weird, like I couldn't see the bonfire a second ago, but climbing up the ladder made it appear, and then going back down the ladder didn't make it disappear, so I'd have to probably go back to another bit of terrain nearby to make it go away. I think the platform should be kind of like here. Alright. Nope, I got stuck on something. Crap. That backstab fishing did not work out. Liam Perry, how did I do this? I'm using a tool called Dark Souls Gadget, which just has a checkbox to render different visual elements. So I can say don't display the map and don't display objects. I could disable visual effects, which would be things like bonfires, of course, loot in the environment, and also characters as well. But the idea is if just characters and just visual effects, if that's enough to get me through the game based on my memory. So. How am I underneath this last guy? I'm forgetting what this platform looks like exactly. It's... He dropped down too. Where did... Oops. What's the build going to be? I have not thought about the build at all, actually. Probably just going to be like, maybe pyromancy and dexterity or something. Okay. Okay, so I have to like walk out a little bit, then turn. Nope. Yeah, because you can kind of fall off the platform to like that small part, like underneath it, off to the side. Yeah, I'm underneath it. Okay. Maybe I'll worry about that later. Terrariums, yeah, there's a fish tank, and then there's one that's just kind of like a terrarium that doesn't have any fish in it. Okay, so he sees me now, and the door's already open, probably has something to do with it. Come on. Not good. Okay. So I find it interesting that this guy saw me before the last time I came through the area without getting into his area. So it's like, where can he actually see you from? Hey, relax up there. There you go, he sees me again. He's useful. I want to kill him like right in the doorway that he pops out of, because that'll help me find the bottom of the steps more easily. Must be there-ish. So the stairs should just be a little bit further and around to the side. No, I went into his room, I think. Here we go. It won't hurt to cheat in 1,000 prism stones. I'll get there eventually. Oops. Oh, I apologize in advance, Soft. If this is anyone's first time, like, looking at Dark Souls, first of all, welcome. Second of all, why? Now, hopefully this is interesting to people who are already familiar with the map. If you're getting entertainment out of this otherwise, that's cool. Not quite. I'm missing this guy's tower. Well, I'm in it. Here we go. So this guy's tower is one of the places a good vagrant can potentially spawn if you drop the right item and it gets passed around enough. I think that might be the first vagrant that I ever saw, was one here at this location. This would have been like maybe a week into, or a couple weeks into the release of Dark Souls on the PlayStation 3. So right around the original release. Now you see why people say this game is hard. Yeah, it would be a lot easier if the map was visible. Something I like about the combat in these games a lot is how they're actually kind of slower paced. Like, I love Bloodborne too, don't get me wrong. That's one of my favorite games in the series. But a lot of people talk about like the faster paced moments being like the strengths of the games in a way. Like, oh, this is exciting because it's faster. But I don't know, I love the slowness to these games. That they're sort of not really hack and slash, because they're a bit slower and a bit more tactical with the combat. I like the idea that you really have to contemplate every little swing of your weapon. I mean, sometimes you can spam, sometimes you're not thinking about it that hard, but more generally, it's the combat's not disposable in a way. Like, you're not just mashing attacks constantly, and you're really thinking about every little movement that you do. Let's see if we can take on the Black Knight. So I have a bit of a strategy for him that I like to use. When I was learning how to parry in the game, the idea of trying to parry everything on sight was a little overwhelming, and I'm not the best reaction timing. Like, I suck at fighting games, right? Like, I don't play fighting games at all. Smash Brothers, to me, seems like way harder than Dark Souls. Like, I don't understand that game. So I sort of wanted to figure out, like, okay, if parrying everything on sight is too hard, is there a way I can just sort of memorize one attack, right? Like, can I parry that attack that he does? What I found, though, is that a good number of the enemies that do shield bash attacks, right, like if I'm holding up my shield and they try to mash it away, they almost always do the exact same attack following that up. So that's a good way to practice parrying, is try to get an enemy like this to bait his shield attack, because then you can learn what he's going to do exactly afterwards. And what he's going to do afterwards is his thrust attack. So it lets you only worry about one particular moveset. So that's a way to make things a lot easier. And furthermore, if you don't have enough stamina to withstand his shield bash, and he pushes my shield away, he actually slows his attack down, which is unusually kind for Dark Souls. Right? Like, if he didn't bash it away, his thrust attack is immediately after the shield bash. But if he does bash it away, he actually like waits for you to sort of regain composure. So he's probably going to clear it away. Yeah, see, he waits a long time, and then he's going to thrust. But if he didn't push my shield away, he would have thrust like right away. So it's actually very kind. Yeah, I started with Twin Humanities, only because I kind of knew in advance that I might want to leave the 5 Humanities and Firelink Shrine where they are. Because any little bit of help, any little bit of glowing whatever in the environment is helps ground me. There's really no point to this ring. It doesn't trigger until after you're lower than the needed threshold to make the icon appear. So like if you take damage and then you see the icon appear after you take the damage, it didn't actually lower any damage that you took in that initial hit. So it's like only reducing damage after your health is already below 20% or whatever the amount is. So pretty useless. Once again, I can't see objects, so this is going to be a little weird with the flaming barrel. Oh, but I can see the visual effect. Cool. Hey. Sometimes being on stairs kind of messes up those, Oh, well, I don't want to kick him around too much because he's kind of helpful. I bought the key, so I should go... Oh, I started off with the, master key anyways. Because Thief always starts with the master key, regardless of your starting gift. So I'm trying to find the room with the chest. Get some gold pine resin for the boss. Okay. That's cool, the lighting change, going in and out of the building. Okay. It'd be nice if I could find the chest without falling off. And I think I already fell. Okay. Okay, I'm in the room again, I think. Okay, I'm out on the platform with the chest. I should be. There we go. Yeah, if you want to play Demon Souls online, you can still. The primary servers are off, but you don't even need to mod your console or anything. If you go to the Demon Souls subreddit, there's a sticky topic that explains how to hook up to the private server. And it works for all regions of the game, but the different regions don't actually connect, because the different regions are actually... those different versions are too different to actually be able to connect online, so... But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. If you're with EU, you go to that server, you'll find other EU players, or on the same server, if you're North America, you'll find other North America players. And they added some cool functionality. Dropping certain messages in when you're on that private server will override your world tendency. So you can actually, they made it so you can cheat your own world tendency. Again, this is with no mods or anything. You just follow the steps and you can do it with a normal PS3. Havel. Yeah, if anyone has more questions about how to still connect online on Demon Souls, just go to the Demon Souls Reddit, and you'll see a topic for it. Okay, I feel like I'm probably going to regret this. I'm already regretting it. Okay. At least we know the big shape of the rooms, like this big cylinder. Oh wow, we can already see the waterfall in Darkroot Basin from here. That's cool. Wasn't expecting that. Where's Havel? Okay, we can see him now. I'm not going to be able to see like walls around me, so I'm afraid of like dodging him. And actually, despite me like parrying every enemy so far and being kind of with it, I'm like not good at parrying him. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to die. Okay. Hi. Please don't kill me. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Oof, oof, oof. He will one-shot me, so... See the Hydra and everything from here. Nope. Yeah, you can't do online with the emulator for Demon Souls, unfortunately. Ooh. Okay, careful, 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 careful. Oh, I'm stuck in a corner. Don't want to be there. Ooh, shit. It's weird seeing the whole, like, Hydra's body. I don't know why I'm healing. Doesn't really make a difference. He'll still kill me if he gets a solid hit on. No map, no hit run. That would not be for me. The stream might be a little misleading so far. Like, I feel like it looks like I'm kind of a good Dark Souls player, but I've any kind of like really serious challenge run, I think would probably be too hard for me. Ooh, I'm kind of stuck somewhere. Oops. Oh, I can't see him. Okay. Gone. Do I believe the rumors? I don't know. I mean, it seems plausible. But... No, 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 no! It's funny, because I was just talking about how the ring wouldn't work. And it really looks like it really just saved me. I want to say it didn't, though. Because I've tested it before. I can't see what's happening. What the hell was that? No! Alright. Don't really need the ring now, but it's one of the best rings in the game. Open. I don't think I want to go to Dark Root yet. Having some frame drops, that sucks. Wish there was something I could do to improve that. More buffering. What is going on here? Boo. Weird. Still horribly lagging, isn't it? Oh, soulful alligator. Fake alligator. I definitely need a better setup. I have no idea what I'm doing. I never stream, so it'll be a learning process for sure. I wish I knew what was making it tank so bad. Alright, so I'm going to try ending and then reopening the stream.